What is going on? We are here, we are live, we are unscripted, and we are going to share whatever it is that we share on how we've made $2.2 million plus using Facebook.
Well, I was doing some math. I'm like, okay, so you made like a quarter-ish in one business. I made like 300 and another thing.
I would say it's actually probably more between the both of us.
It probably is. I just was being conservative. And
but still, when I see that number, I'm like, oh wow, but I guess we did.
Yeah.
I guess
let's just kind of do the why have you always chose Facebook groups to do? And I just want to make sure if you're on here, let us know in the comments if you can hear. Also, I want to do a quick shout out thing. We're doing an event on the 26th where we're going to break down how to consistently attract consistent clients using our Heart Community framework, which has mostly been through Facebook groups, right? Obviously, you could use them through different groups and stuff. But.
So to answer your question, why did I start the Facebook groups? Let me kind of share this story. So I have been online since 2013. I started off in the health and wellness industry and then moved into more of the marketing. And then now we've been working with coaches for the last 6 years. And every single niche that we've worked with and with the coaches that we've worked with, I don't know. I have a two-prong answer for that. One, and I used to work with a multi-million-dollar person. I was his operations director. I put the whole company. I led the company. Okay, it's just kind of what I do. I've done that multiple times. Mm-hmm. So one strategy that
you helped to go from about 7 to 8 figures.
Sure. And the one thing that I've learned throughout the years, I even asked him, his name is Giancarlo Badazza. I was like, if I could learn one thing that I could really master, that would that I could take away and use for my own business, what would that be? And his response was relationships. If you can master relationships and communication, you will always be gold. And I took that. I'm like, okay, cool. And so it was actually really funny.
Outstanding.
I started to
Instanding.
Yes. Back even when I had this health and wellness business, when I was in that niche, I started a group and I ran a free clean eating challenge every month. So every month at the beginning of the month, I would open it up. They got a meal plan, they got recipes, they got an accountability. And for that, we actually only did it for a week. It wasn't but the month we worked through it. But for that week, we did a clean eating
Sounds
week.
like false advertising.
Well, it was,
I'm telling you.
I'm going to talk or not. So in this, hey Jason, what's going on? Hey,
what's up, man?
So in this, what I did is I gave them all of this value and how to eat clean, helped them go to the grocery store, gave them the grocery list. And then what I would do is I would upsell them into a fitness challenge and we would do the fitness challenge together. And so from that moment, I got really clear that having a community of people allowed you to build relationships much easier, much faster. So I literally ran with that. So in the health and wellness, I did that. And then before Chad and I were together, I have my own journey of success where I moved into the affiliate marketing space. And I actually had a couple of my own. I know I was in the home business industry, but I did have my own programs and courses. And every program, it would be when you can get a group of people together around a common ground. And I just started creating, it's more than just having a Facebook group, because when you think about Facebook groups, it's okay, well, everyone has a Facebook group and there's a gazillion and 20 Facebook groups being created by the freaking second, right? So having a Facebook group is not the way, right? How you lead and cultivate the community within a Facebook group, now that's the way.
Yeah.
Right? And something that I have found, I'm going to go on a little bit about this if that's okay. Something that I have found is that building relationships and community with people is timeless. There are so many different marketing strategies, the latest and the greatest, and the latest and greatest, the got to run ads this way, or mini chat or chat bots is another way, or doing it this way and doing it that way. But what I've found is I've literally been creating this technique and this process of how to cultivate communities. And you don't even need a large community. We don't have a community of thousands upon tens of thousands of people that have brought us in millions. We literally have, it's under 5,000 people. And so it's not that you have this big, huge community and this big, huge following of people. It's the process of how you cultivate and create that community.
Yeah, you asked
I have
me,
a part two too, so.
You asked me the other day about like which one of our clients have like really crushed it using Facebook groups.
Yes.
The one that comes up to me, like the biggest one, is Amber, right? The crazy thing is she only had like 200 people into her group, and she signed $138,000 worth of signed contracts. Robert has some big groups, and he's crushing it.
Great to see you.
That's out of like a 200-person group, like $138,000 out of a 200-person group. Like how crazy that is, like to think like.
Now that you say it too, we had Sebastian, and Sebastian, he filled his program and he only had like 20 people in his group. So there's this big misconception that you have to have this huge community. They have to do all these huge things. And in order for it to work, that's going to be the only way to do it. It's literally having a strategic process that brings people through and using it in a very specific way. The other reason why I love groups and why I continually will have groups. So building relationships is important, right? So I do not believe that, especially, I won't say this in the whole internet space, but especially in the realm of transformation. If your business is working with transformation, working with people on a deep soul level to transform their entire life and existence, there needs to be communication. It blows my mind when there are coaches out there that are like, and I've authentically have gone through seasons of this. I've been online for like 11 years. I'm gonna have seasons. So there are times where I'm like, I don't want to message people. I don't want to talk to people. Like, Chad, like, do your thing. He is so good at messaging people and getting into their world. Like, this is an area of mastery for Chad, where I am very much like, I don't want to be in Messenger all day long. I am all about serving my client.
Like, but that's the thing is like, you never were, right? Like, you would just, they would join your group. And
yeah,
then you, like,
totally. Well, that's why I love groups. That's kind of where I'm getting to is, you know, if messaging people all day long is not your jam and you don't want to be doing that. And I will tell you what, another thing that will not work is hiring an appointment setter from some specific company, and they don't do that.
Oh, I just did a good post on that in our group.
Oh, there we go, aligned. So, but what I have found for me personally is having really creating a heart community. So a heart community, what that stands for is human engagement, authenticity, relationship technique. So it's a specific technique of how you use the community that builds relationships fast, builds authority fast, and builds that relationship fast so that you can really be of service for your people. Because for me, like cold messaging people all day or being a messenger all day, like it drains my energy, and I would much rather take my energy and bring it towards our clients and what it is that they're up to, and to be able to serve our clients and to also be able to serve like in a creative space. Like I love being creative. I love creating content. And so when I am busy messaging people, it literally kind of sucks out the creativity for me. So we ultimately refined this process where, like, for Chad, again, this is his soul gift. He can, like, the way that he networks and talks to people, and like I think he freaking loves it.
Well, this is the thing. It's like the cool thing about a Facebook group. I don't like just I don't. We make new friends. People friend request me. I friend request people that I think are a good fit. So if I friend request you, you seem awesome. But I don't message them right away. The one thing I want to really set myself apart from these freaking scammy ass like scale your coaching businesses.
Yes.
Is that they'll like all your posts, and then they'll like DM you right away and try to like sell you right away on the thing, right? Where I would rather have you, come into our group and then get to know us, and then, hey, welcome to the group. And then it's like assessing kind of like what's going on with them, and maybe even inviting them to a training or finding a training that maybe works, that's like the best, going to help them, support them the best. And then they get to know us and see how we can actually help before we've even, like, literally, like, people that just pitch right away, you're literally like you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because
even worse when they like 10 of your posts and then they don't even bring any of that to the conversation, like just buy my stuff.
Yeah, just would you like to?
Did you even look at my posts?
You just liked them and didn't even assholes.
Yeah.
But so so that's the thing. It's like really being able to dial in the process to be able to connect with people. Like, so if you're a connector, then connect with more qualified people because they joined your group for a specific result. If you're somebody that's just wants to put out amazing content and not connect with people and you hate people for whatever,
I was in a season of ice. Like I will. No, that's not even funny to me. So go ahead, you can mess all you want. I will be totally authentic. I went through a season of like healing my freaking trauma, like complex PTSD freaking trauma that I needed to work through. And I feel like every person needs to have a season of where they genuinely go through and rewire their entire nervous system. And sometimes that takes moving out into the suburbs of swampland next to a state park and spending your days in the middle of the forest, like getting closer to God so that you could tune out the rest of the voices and be very firm and steady in yours. I went through that phase unashamed and unapologetic about it. And I think every coach needs to have that season. So I stand by that period of my life. It was a powerful period of my life, and everyone needs to go through it. And even through that, right? Because like at the time we weren't necessarily like, because we do what we do, I feel like if you work in transformation, you'll always have seasons. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we'll always go through that, right? But that's another thing is by having a system as you're going through the season, and even being able to have a team that can help you through the things where they understand the vision, and they like that can be a whole separate training on having a team where they're not blankly sounding like they're an appointment setter out there can be really valuable. But in order to have the team, you have to have the process. So Robert, spot on. The more dialed in the group is, the size becomes irrelevant. Most groups have a 10% mix of target market, 5,000 people across the board or 500 people who are directly impacted, who are 100% in line with your service. I'd much rather manage a group of 500. Yes, right? So it's like when you create your group in such a specific way that you are working and you're speaking to people who are directly in line with your mission and your vision, your team, when you start building a team, once you get to a certain level and they are directly in line with the vision and the mission, and they can pick up some of the pieces, like don't get a team unless you have the system. It won't work, right? So when I had my season of intense healing my worthiness and healing all of the trauma that has been holding me back, I had to step away from the messaging side and really talking to people. And I let my team, who was very good at it, hold that space for me while I was doing what I needed to do and still create. So that's the power of having a process and a system throughout it, is so that you can start building the team that supports you, because you will not make millions by yourself. You just won't.
No.
That's not what our industry is about. Right? But in order to effectively have the team, you have to have the system. So that's what we're going to be sharing. We're going to be sharing, like, what's this process? How does it work? In, what is it? February. We're in February now. I feel like we've just been in this like massive weird time jump lately, like where this month has been the longest year ever. And sorry about that. Yeah. Like, and the days, I don't know, it's really weird. You guys are experiencing that, let me know as well. But what we're going to be talking about in February 26th, it is next Monday
5 p.m.
at 5 p.m. Eastern, we are going to break down exactly what this strategy looks like, right? So that you can start using, you don't just become another Facebook group online out of the gazillion million of them. How do you create yourself so that you stand out, so that you're different, so that people are seeing you as the authority figure in your niche, that you are building relationships with people and you're unabashedly sharing your most authentic truth to the world, because that is your magic and that is your power.
Yeah.
Boom.
So if you if you want to come, drop event below and I'll make sure I get you the link. And if you watch the replay, there should be a link around down there. Some platforms will have it down there. It's weird. We're on StreamYard, so
go to our personal wall. It's there. You'll find it,
and
it'll be worth the time to go find it.
Yes, go do the hunting. All right, but yeah, so go register. There's a VIP, so upgrade to VIP, and we appreciate y'all. Talk to you later.